Hi all, a warm welcome to all of you in the today's current event section for the ESIC 2021 Deputy Director Examination, and today we are going to discuss the 15 most important MCQs for the current event section of ESIC 2021 Deputy Director Exam. So before starting the session, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us, and you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. So now there is a very important announcement for all of you that we are running a mega sale in which we are offering flat 50% off on our various combo courses, and to avail the discount you are required to use the code combo. And in case you want to purchase a single course, then there also you are getting 40% plus additional 10% off on the single courses, and for that you are required to use the code single. So now let's move on to the session. Let's get started. So here is the very first question before all of you that you are required to answer in the comment section below. The very first question is about the NEET initiative. See, this is one of the initiative which has been launched by the government, and here you are required to analyze these particular statements and then tell me that which of the statements given above is or are correct in relation with the NEET initiative. So here, when we look out the very first statement, it says that it is an initiative which provides the use of best developed technological solutions in the education sector. The second statement says that it is based on a public-private partnership model between the government of India and the education technology companies which are present in India. And the third statement says that under the NEET 3.0, more than 12 lakh socially and economically disadvantaged students have received free EdTech course coupons worth rupees 253 crore under the NEET 3.0. So my dear learners, when we talk about the initiatives, see, we always tell you that the reports, schemes, initiatives, as well as the different programs which are being launched by the government of India are really very much important from the exam point of view. And that is the reason that we have brought such kind of questions in our session, because they are really important from the exam point of view. And when we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer is option D. That is, all of the above statements which are being mentioned here are correct in a relation with the NEET initiative. So now let's discuss this NEET initiative in the detail. And when we talk about the current affairs part of this NEET initiative, here you can see that recently the Union Education Minister has launched NEET 3.0, and under the NEET 3.0, the 12 lakh NEET EdTech free course coupons were being distributed, and the worth of these coupons were around rupees 253.72 crores, which have been distributed to the socially disadvantaged groups. When we talk about the NEET is a National Educational Alliance for Technology. It is a platform which provides the use of the best developed technological solutions in the education sector, and it aims to enhance the employability of the youth on a single platform. Okay, and my dear learners, it is an initiative of the AICTE, and it also works as an facilitator, and it also ensures that the solutions which are being provided under this particular NEET initiative are freely available to the large number of socially and economically backward students. And that's how this particular initiative will lead to the development of the employable skills of these particular people, also leads to the capacity building, as well as it bridges the learning gaps which exist between the academicians, tech companies, as well as the students. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now let's move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. In the next question, you are required to name the country which has recently hosted the first summit of democracy. See, these summits and important summits are really important from the exam point of view. And here in this question, you are just required to find out the country. You are required to identify the country which has recently hosted the first summit of democracy. Whether it was Russia, France, China, USA, do answer the question in the comment section below. And when we talk about this first summit of democracy, it was being hosted and convened by the United States of America. Let's discuss this in the detail. See, our Indian Prime Minister has also addressed this first summit of democracy, and when we talk about this democracy, it was virtually convened and hosted by Joe Biden, the President of United States. And the objective of hosting this particular summit of democracy was to set forth an affirmative agenda for the democratic renewal and to tackle the greatest threats which are being faced by the democracies all over the world. And after this particular summit, they have also announced the establishment of the Presidential Initiative for the Democratic Renewal, under which the US government is going to commit up to USD 424 million in year 2022. So that was all about the first summit of democracy. So the major part about this was that it was being hosted and convened by Joe Biden, the President of the United States of America. So I hope that this is very much clear. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question today in this particular session is about the Padhe Bharat campaign. See, these kinds of initiatives and campaigns which are being launched by the government, I have already told you that they are important from the exam point of view. And here once again you are required to read out these particular statements about the Padhe Bharat campaign and then tell me that which one of the following statements are correct with respect to the above mentioned campaign. The very first statement says that focuses on the children with studies from Bal Vatika to grade 8. The second statement says that it will be organized for 100 days and the duration of that particular part has been already given here. And the third statement, it is talking that the 100 days reading campaign will focus only on the two languages, that is Hindi and English. So here answer the question in the comment section below that what are the above given statements which are correct as per the Pade Bharat campaign, and the right answer to this question is option B, that is both statement first and second are correct. So what exactly is wrong component in the third statement? It is that the 100 days reading campaign will only focus on the two languages. This particular part is incorrect about the Pade Bharat campaign as it is going to focus on all the mother tongues. So that is the reason that the third statement is incorrect. So let's discuss this campaign in much more detailed manner. Shri Dharmendra Pradhan has launched Pade Bharat, which is the 100 days reading campaign, and why it has been launched: to cultivate a lifetime habit of reading books among the Indian children. And my dear learners, this particular campaign has been aligned with the National Education Policy 2020, which also emphasizes on the importance as well as it promotes the joyful reading culture for the Indian children. And that is the reason that in vision of this NEP policy as well, the Padhe Bharat campaign has been recently launched. So it is an initiative of the Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education. And when we talk about the key focus area of this particular initiative, that is of this campaign, then it aims to have participation of all the stakeholders at the national as well as state level, which also includes the children, teachers, parents, community, educational administrators, etc. And it is going to focus on the students which are studying from Balvatika to grade 8, and these particular children have been divided in three groups which have been mentioned here. So the first important part about this campaign is that it aims to cultivate the lifelong habit of reading books among the Indian children. And that's how, in order to achieve this, they are going to make reading enjoyable and build a lifelong association with the joy of reading. And when we talk about the duration, we have already discussed this in our statements itself. One of the statements which were being given in the question, that it will be organized for a period of 100 days from 1st of January 2022 to 10th of April 2022. So that was all from that Pade Bharat campaign, and now let us move on to one of the very important question, and really very important because these rules have been recently launched. And this question is based on the consumer protection jurisdiction of the District Commission, the State Commission, and the National Commission Rules 2021. So my dear learners, recently the Government of India has notified the rules under the Consumer Protection Rules 2021 about these three commissions, that is the District, State and National Commission. Do answer the question in the comment section below. You are just required to tell me that which one of the following statements which are being mentioned above are correct about the above mentioned rules. So when we talk about the right answer to this particular question, the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. So let's discuss this rules in a detailed manner, that what exactly these rules are and what are the different amendments which have been made for the consumers. Okay, so center has recently notified the rules for consumer protection for the jurisdiction of the district commission, state commission and the national commission rules 2021. Okay, and these rules were revised, and the revised pecuniary jurisdiction of the entertaining consumer complaints shall be up to, the limits have been mentioned here which are really important. But one point I want to add here, that these rules have been amended under the Consumer Protection Act 2019. Okay, as the word suggests, it aims for the protection of the rights of the consumers. And whose are those consumers? Please answer the question, answer this part in the comment section below, that what exactly is the definition of consumer. Okay, and when we talk about the rights of the consumer, see, if any right of the consumer is being violated, they can file their complaints in the three commissions. The name of these three commissions are National Commission, State Commission and the District Commission. And now, as we have already told you, that Consumer Protection Act 2019 stipulates the pecuniary jurisdiction of each tier of the Consumer Commission. So the existing provisions under these pecuniary jurisdictions were that the if a consumer want to file a complaint about the value of goods or services paid, then if the value of these goods does not exceed 1 crore, then he is going to file the complaint with the district commission. And if this particular part is between the 1 crore and 10 crore rupees, then he is going to file the complaint to the state commission. And if this value of the goods or services paid exceeds rupees 10 crore, then it is going to file the complaint with the national commission. But with all these particular provisions has been changed, and the new limits for these consumers to file their complaint as per the respective values of the goods and services are being mentioned here. That is, if the value of good or services paid is up to 50 lakh, the consumer is required to file the complaint with the district commission. If the value of goods is between 50 lakh to 2 crore, he or she is going to file the complaint to the state commissions. And if the value of the goods is more than 2 crore, then the person or the consumer is required to file the complaint with the national commission. So I hope that these amendments in these provisions are being very clear to you. The revisions in these provisions are being very much clear to you. And now, when we talk about the region of revision, that why this revision has been made under this particular act. See, Consumer Protection Act 2019 stipulates that every complaint shall be disposed of as expeditiously as possible. Okay, and some time limits have been mentioned here. But when the Consumer Protection Act 2019 comes into force, what exactly happened? The complaints which were supposed to file with the national commission were filed with the state commission, and the complaints which were supposed to get filed with the state commission were filed with the district commission. And that was the reason that district commission was overloaded with the lot of work, and this led to the pendency of the cases of the consumers which were being filed by the consumers with these commissions, and this led to the delayed disposal of these cases. But the Consumer Protection Act 2019 stipulates that every complaint shall be disposed of as expeditiously as possible, and to resolve this particular issue, these revisions have been made by the Government of India. So I hope that this is very much clear. And now let's move on to the next question. And next question is about the very important part, that is utter ranking of institutions on the innovation achievement. See, these rankings were being released recently, and that is the reason that you are not just the rankings, you are also required to remember that what exactly this ARIIA is all about. And that is the reason that we have brought such kind of question before all of you, in which you are required to analyze these particular statements and then tell me that which one of the following statements are correct with the above discussed initiative, that is the utter ranking of the institutions on innovation achievements. Okay, so in the very first statement it is saying that it is a policy initiative of the Ministry of Education. The second statement says that it ranks all the major higher educational institutions and universities in India on indicators which are related to the promotion as well as the support of innovation and entrepreneurship development. And the third statement says that IIT Madras has been recognized as the most innovative educational institute in India as per the ARIIA 2021. And all the above mentioned statements are correct about the utter ranking on institutions on innovation achievements, and that is the reason the right answer is option D, that is all of the above. So when we talk about the ARIIA, we have already discussed that it is a joint initiative of the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell and the AICTE. And what exactly it does? It ranks all the major higher educational institutions and universities in India, and that supports the innovation and entrepreneurship development. Okay, and when we talk about the parameters on which these higher education institutions are being analyzed by these rankings, then the parameters have been mentioned here, that the activities to promote and support innovation and startup in the campus, then it also includes the academic courses which are being offered there, then it also involves the successful innovation and the startups which have emerged from the campuses. But when we talk about the categories in which the higher education institutions have been divided by this particular rankings, then this ranking divides the Indian institutions in the two categories, that is technical and the non-technical. And when we talk about the most innovative institute in our country, then it was IIT Madras, which is being situated in the Tamil Nadu. Okay, see, these particular institutions have been also categorized in 5 different categories when we talk about the technical part, and when we talk about the non-technical part, it is being divided into 2 subcategories. So you can just go through that very well for the value addition. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. And the next question is once again about very important scheme, that is Sagar Mala scheme, and all of you are required to tell me that which statement is correct about the above mentioned scheme. Okay, so here when we talk about the statement, it says that Ministry of Shipping is the nodal ministry for the above mentioned scheme which was approved in year 2015. In the second statement, it is talking about the aim of this particular scheme, and in the third statement, it says about the about one of the establishments which have been made under the Ministry of Shipping via the Companies Act, which is going to provide the equity support for all the projects which are going to take place in the Sagar Mala scheme. Okay, and my dear learners, when we talk about the right answer to this question is option C, that is all of the above. So when we talk about the Sagarmala scheme, it was approved in year 2015 with the nodal ministry as the Ministry of Shipping. And what exactly was the objective? The objective is to reduce the logistic cost for both domestic and EXIM cargo with the optimized infrastructure investment. And the components of the Sagarmala scheme have been mentioned here, that is the port modernization and new port development, port connectivity enhancement, port linked industrialization, coastal community development. So all these are the components under the Sagarmala scheme. And when we talk about the committees which have been set up for the monitoring as well as the implementation of the Sagarmala scheme, so the National Sagarmala Apex Committee and the Sagarmala Coordination and Steering Committee has been established at the national level, while at the state level, the State Sagarmala Committee has been constituted. So I hope that this is very much clear. See, we have discussed all the important points, but when we talk about the key features, you can just go through them very quickly. And we are moving towards the next question, which is mentioned on your screen. So the next question is about the Consumer Protection Direct Selling Rules 2021. See, back to back, two rules. The information and the guidelines about the two rules have been notified by the Government of India, which are a part of the Consumer Protection Act 2019, and that is the reason that it becomes important. And it is also important that you are required to cover the Consumer Protection Act 2019, which is once again a very important part. Okay, so here once again you are required to identify the correct statement which are being mentioned here about the Consumer Protection Direct Selling Rules 2021. So here the very first statement says that the rules have been notified by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. The second statement says that all the existing direct selling entities are mandated to comply these rules within a period of 100 days. And when we talk about the third statement, it says that as per the rules, only central government can set up a mechanism for the monitoring or the supervising of the activities of the direct sellers and the direct selling entities. So my dear learners, when we talk about the right answer to this question is option A, that is only statement 1 is correct while the statement 2 and 3 is incorrect. And what is the wrong part here? The wrong part is that the existing direct selling entities are mandated to comply these rules within a period of 90 days and not the 100 days. And that is the reason that second statement is incorrect. And when we talk about the third statement, it says that as per rules, only central government can set up a mechanism. But as per the recent rules which have been notified by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, they have said that as per the rules, the state governments can set up a mechanism to monitor or supervise the activities of the direct sellers and direct selling entities, and that is the reason that right answer is option A, that is statement 1 is correct. So when we talk about the rules which have been notified, see, these have been notified by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Public and Food and Public Distribution, and these rules shall apply to the all the goods and services which are being bought or sold through the direct selling, and all the models of the direct selling. It will be applicable to all the direct selling entities which are offering goods and services to the consumers. And these are some examples of these direct selling entities, that is the Amway and the Oriflame. Okay, and when we talk about the deadline for the compliance of these rules by these direct selling entities, then it is the period of 90 days, that is within 90 days they are required to comply with all these rules which have been notified by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Okay, and my dear learners, apart from that, one of the very most important point that have been mentioned here, that the prohibitions that have been introduced by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs under these rules, that these rules promotes a pyramid scheme or enroll any person to such scheme or participate in the such arrangement. Apart from that, it also prohibits the direct selling entity or direct sellers to participate in the money circulation scheme in the garb of doing direct selling business. Okay, and when we talk about the monitoring, we have already discussed that state governments are required to set up a mechanism to monitor or supervise the activities of the direct sellers and the direct selling entity. And for the grievance redressal as well, the points have been mentioned here, you can go through them. And when we talk about the person who will be responsible for ensuring the compliance, then they are also going to appoint a nodal officer who shall be responsible for ensuring the compliance with the provisions of the act and the rules which are made there under. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you, and some more important points as well have been mentioned here, you can go through them for the value addition. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. And the next question is about the very important missions which have been launched recently, that is Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. Okay, that is Prime Minister Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. And once again, you are required to choose the correct statements as per the above missions, okay, which have been mentioned here. So these are the three statements that you are required to analyze. In the very first statement, it is saying about the nodal ministry. Second statement is talking about the aim of this particular mission, and the third statement is talking about the different provisions which will be available under the Prime Minister Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. Okay, so when we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer is option D, that is all of the above. So let's discuss this mission in the detail, and let's see that what exactly you are required to remember from this Prime Minister Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. So here you can see that nodal ministry was the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It was launched in October 2021. Now comes the most important part, that is the aim of this mission, that why exactly the government of India has come up with this mission, why exactly they have launched this mission. See, behind launching this mission, the government of India aims to strengthen the critical healthcare network from village to block to the districts to the regional as well as national level in the upcoming 4 to 5 years. And to strengthen the critical healthcare network, this particular mission has been launched by the government, where the nodal ministry is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And for this, when we talk about the financial allocation, then Government of India has allocated 64,180 crore rupees for a period of over 5 years. Okay, and the components have been mentioned here. When we talk about the key features of this particular mission, this mission is going to provide support to the 17,788 rural health and wellness centers in the 10 high focus states and establish 11,024 urban health and wellness centers across the country. Okay, and it is also going to provide exclusive critical care hospital blocks, which are going to ensure access to the critical care services in all the districts of the country, which are having over 5 lakh population through the exclusive critical care hospital blocks. So these are going to be set up under this particular mission, where the mission, which was launched in October 2021 with the objective of strengthening the critical healthcare network all over the country. So I hope that this is very much clear, and now let us move on to the next question. And this question is really very easy for all of you, and the question is that you are just going to identify the government which has become the world's first government to become 100% paperless. It was Dubai government, Indonesia government, Malaysia government, Tunisia government. So do answer this question in the comment section below. Please tell me that what exactly is the right answer to this particular question. Okay. And when we talk about the government which has become the world's first government to become 100% paperless, the right answer is option A, that is Dubai. So here you can see that Dubai government has become the world's first government to become 100% paperless, as this step which has been taken by the government is going to save more than 1.3 billion dirham, that is 350 million US dollars, and over 14 million man hours. And my dear learners, once again a very important step which has been taken by the Dubai government, and which I really think that all other governments must take. And what do you think about this? Do comment the same in the comment section below. And now when we talk about the question number 10, the question number 10 is about a very important scheme launched by the government, that is the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. Okay, in the very first statement it is being mentioned that it was launched in 2015 by the Ministry of Power as the nodal ministry, and the aim of this scheme was to provide continuous power supply to the rural India. The third statement says that it has replaced the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana, and it is going to be implemented by the Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. And all the statements which are being mentioned here about the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana are correct, and the right answer to this particular question is none of the above, as the demand of the question was to identify the incorrect statement about the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, and that is the reason, as all the above statements about this particular scheme are correct, so the right answer to this question is option D, that is none of the above. Okay, so discussing this in the detail, we have discussed the launch year, the nodal ministry, and the aim of this particular scheme was to provide continuous power supply to the rural India. See, in the previous scheme we have discussed that it was being launched to strengthen the critical care all over India, and now when we talk about this particular scheme, it was being launched to provide continuous power supply, to ensure the continuous power supply to the rural India. And what exactly is the objective? The objective is to provide electrification to the all villages, feeder separation to ensure sufficient power to the farmers. See, the power is really very important for the farmers as well, and that is the reason that they are also going to, one of the objective of the scheme is the feeder separation, to ensure that the farmers are getting sufficient power and there is a regular supply to the other consumers as well. When we talk about the key features of the scheme has replaced the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana, and this scheme will be implemented by the Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. Okay, And when we talk about this particular scheme, it is going to focus on feeder separation. We have already discussed in the above mentioned objectives. It is going to strengthen the sub-transmission and the distribution infrastructure, including metering at all levels in the rural areas and the microgrid and off-grid distribution network. Okay, the funding mechanism has also been mentioned here. That is, the grant portion of the scheme will be 60% for other than special category states, that is up to 75% on the achievement of prescribed milestones, and 85% for the special category states, that is up to 90% on the achievement of the prescribed milestones. So it is 60% for other than special category states and 85% for the special category states. So these are the important points that you are required to remember from the exam point of view. So let's move on to the next question. Let's see that what exactly the next question is having for all of you. And the next question is about a sigma. What exactly it is, what are its different features, who has made this particular part is really important for all of you to remember here, and that is the reason that here once again 3 statements are being mentioned and you are required to choose the correct option using the code which are being mentioned above. And my dear learners, here the very first statement says that it has been launched by Indian Army, and when we talk about a sigma, it is being titled as the Army Secure Indigenous Messaging Application, and it is the contemporary messaging web-based application. Okay, and the second statement says that it has been developed by the corps of signals of the Russian army, and the third statement says that it has been deployed on the army's internal network as a replacement of the army wide area network messaging app. So my dear learners, when we talk about the correct statement about the a sigma, so the right answer to this question is option C, that is both statement 1 and 3 are correct. Because when we talk about the wrong component in the statement 2, see, it says that it has been developed by a team of officers of the Corps of Signals of the Russian army. But this particular part about this particular sigma is incorrect, as it has been developed by a team of officers of the Corps of Signals of the Indian Army, and that is the reason that this particular statement was incorrect, and the right answer was option C, that is both statement first and third are correct. So I hope that this is very much clear, and now let's move on to the next question, that is Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2021. Okay, so in this particular part, see, this was one of the bills which was being recently passed, and here once again 3 statements are being mentioned here about the bill, and you are required to tell me the correct statement as per the above Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2021, which have been passed recently. So the very first statement, it says that this bill seeks to regulate and supervise the assisted reproductive technology clinics and ART banks. The second statement is talking about some of the proposals, that it proposes a constitution of a national board which is going to set up minimum standards of the physical infrastructure, laboratory and diagnostics to be employed by the clinics as well as the banks. And the third statement says about the stringent punishments which are being mentioned under this particular bill 2021. So do tell me the answer in the comment section below, that which statement is correct about this particular ART regulation bill 2021, and the right answer is option D, that is all of the above. That means all the above mentioned statements about the ART bill 2021 are correct. And here you can see, recently the Parliament of India has passed 2 bills which aims to regulate the in vitro fertilization clinics and prohibit the commercial surrogacy in India. And what were the name of these 2 bills? These 2 bills were Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2021. One we have discussed in the question, and the next bill was Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2020. So when we talk about the Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2020, it proposes to regulate surrogacy in India. And how? This will be done by establishing a national surrogacy board at the central level and state surrogacy boards. Okay, and an appropriate authority in the states and union territories will also being set up. Okay, so I hope that this is very much clear. And the ART regulation bill 2021 we have already discussed. So these 2 bills are really very important for all of you to have knowledge about, because in the exam a question can be asked about them because they were recently passed by the parliament. Okay, so I hope that this is very much clear. And now let's move on to the next question, and the next question is that Which one of the following has become the first Indian state? See, in this question, you are required to identify the name of the Indian state which has become the first Indian state to launch a special pink police force which is going to take care of the women, tourists, and children. Whether it was Rajasthan, Assam, Odisha, or Goa, do answer the question in the comment section below. You are required to just identify the name of the state which has become the first Indian state to launch a special pink police force, and the right answer is Goa. So Goa government has become the first state in the country to launch a special pink police force to take care of women, tourists, and children. Okay. And initially the force has been stationed at 11 police stations across the state. So that was all from this particular part. You are just required to remember the name of the state, that is Goa, which has become the first Indian state. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is about the Udyam Sakhi portal. So in this question, the question is being based on the Udyam Sakhi portal, and once again you are required to choose the correct statement about this Udyam Sakhi portal which are being mentioned here. In the very first statement, it is talking about the launch year. The second statement is talking about the makers of the portal, that which are the organizations which are involved in development of this Udyam Sakhi portal, and the third statement is talking about the provisions, that what exactly the Udyam Sakhi portal provides. And do answer the question in the comment section below, that what exactly, that which statement is correct as per the Udyam Sakhi portal. And the right answer to this question is option C, that is both statements second and third are correct. The statement 1 was wrong. What exactly was wrong part in the very first statement of the Udyam Sakhi portal? Let's find out. See, when we talk about the wrong part in the very first statement, it was that it was mentioned that this particular portal was launched in year 2021, but this portal was being launched in March 2018, and this portal was being launched in order to help the women to start, build, and grow their businesses. And that was the reason that this portal was being developed, that is to help these women. And this portal was developed by the Institute for the Design of Electrical Measuring Instruments under the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises. Okay, and what exactly this portal will do? This portal is going to provide information about the financial schemes, the policies, the programs of the Ministry of MSME to the existing prospective women entrepreneurs. See, many a times people are not aware about the schemes, the policies, and the programs which have been launched, and that is the reason that if someone is already an entrepreneur, the woman entrepreneur, or the prospective, or they are aiming to become the entrepreneur, then it is really very important for them to be aware about the facilities and the provision that the government are providing itself from their side for their better development, for their better incubations. That is the reason that this particular portal has been launched, so that all the important informations are being provided about these financial schemes, so that these women entrepreneurs are very much aware that what exactly are the provisions the government is providing to them for their better growth in this particular sector. Okay, so I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now we are moving towards the last question of the today's session, and this is really very simple one, that you are required to just name the digital platform which has been recently launched by Justice Pinaki Chandra, who is a chairperson Lokpal of India. And why this particular platform has been launched? For the management of the complaints. See, all the complaints which are being filed by the people, there is a platform which has been created for the management of these complaints, and you are just required to tell me the name of that particular platform, that what exactly it was, whether it was Lokpal Online, E-Lokpal, Darkhwaste Lokpal, or Lok Shikayat Portal. So the right answer to this question is option A, that is Lokpal Online. And see here, the Justice Pinaki Chandra has recently inaugurated Lokpal Online, a digital platform for the management of complaints, and it is a web-based facility which is really going to quicken the disposal of the complaints. See, the complaints which are being filed, they are really required to be disposed of expeditiously and at a very good pace. And that is the reason we have already discussed that one of the uh, consumer rules as well has been updated by the government, that we have discussed in this particular session. And once again, there is a part of the complaint for the expeditious disposal of these particular complaints, and now this is to the Lokpal, and the name of the platform which has been launched is Lokpal Online. And my dear learners, it can be accessed by all the Indian citizens, and complaints can be filed anytime and from anywhere. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And when we talk about some other aspects of the Lokpal Online, then it will be hosted on the NIC, that is National Informatics Center Cloud, and it will be developed as an open source technology. Okay, so that was all from this particular question, and that was all from this particular session. I really hope that this particular session was useful and fruitful to all of you. And if you have liked the session, then do give a thumbs up in the comment section below. And if you are having any queries, then you can just drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 814-620-7241. So my dear learners, thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.